The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bore them children. These were the mighty men who were of old, great men of renown. Genesis 6:4. Ever since time immemorial, the human race has held a fascination with literal giants. Nearly every culture on Earth has had several myths and legends that tell of a race of human-like creatures that tower over normal men and women. Some were bringers of good fortune, while many others were seen as malevolent agents of destruction. The great explorer Ferdinand Magellan told of encounters he had with a mysterious race of giant humanoids that occupied southern Patagonia in Argentina. The ancient ruins of Nan Madol in Micronesia were said to be built by giant water spirits and kings that took the form of human men. And most famously of all, the biblical figure of Goliath the Philistine, who was said to be over 9 feet tall and a latent member of the demonic race of abominations known as the Nephilim. These are but a few of the literally thousands of examples that show of how a notion of monstrous humanoids has haunted mankind's collective psyche over the millennia. And it doesn't show any signs of slowing down, even in the current day. This is Andrew Dawson, a typical everyday fun-loving guy who lived in British Columbia, Canada. Andrew was a hard-working man who enjoyed documenting his exploits on TikTok. His videos were your normal run-of-the-mill slice-of-life vlogs. Andrew loved hanging out with his friends, family, and girlfriend, and wasn't particularly interested in anything extraordinary, fantastical, or paranormal. By all indications, Andrew was the epitome of normalcy. But unfortunately for Andrew Dawson, all this was about to change. While out driving with a friend, Andrew spotted something on the side of nearby Whistler's Peak that would send him down a nightmarish rabbit hole of conspiracy, cover-up, and some would say, his eventual death.
What is it?
It's a person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over. There's a person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, if you seen what I've seen right now?
Andrew was convinced that the blurry object shown in the video was a giant-statured humanoid that seemed to be climbing the side of Whistler's Peak. When Andrew posted this to TikTok, the video blew up, quickly going super viral. The comments section was flooded with people who wanted Andrew to try and get closer to the mountain and get a better view of the supposed giant. Quite curious about what he had captured on camera, Andrew decides to comply with his viewers and venture closer to Whistler's Peak.
We're on our way. We're gonna go find somewhere closer, and I'm gonna set my camera on something so you guys aren't complaining how shaky it is in the truck. Because, yeah, internet has no chill, but that's the mountain we're going to. But we're just gonna try to get closer.
Andrew stops at what he thinks is a good vantage point to try and get a better view, much closer than he had been before when he first spotted this strange figure, but still a safe distance away should he need to leave in a hurry. Disappointingly, Andrew doesn't see anything this time around, and to him and to many of his viewers, this proved that whatever he had seen the first time was not a stationary object as it was now, nowhere in sight.
Okay, I'm gonna use this as a tripod to try to keep it steady for you guys. And it's not even there anymore, too. That's where it was yesterday. I spoke to some locals and it comes and goes apparently, I don't know. See, that's me trying to keep it super steady with something. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to keep it steady when zoomed in all the way?
In doing some further research, Andrew discovers that this particular part of Alberta had been awash with strange sightings of Bigfoot-like cryptids dating back over 200 years. Not satisfied with going back empty-handed, Andrew decided that he was going to drive to the very foot of Whistler's Peak to try and capture something. However, on his way, he says that he was stopped by a strange man in some official-looking uniform that told Andrew that he was trespassing on private land even though the road he was on was supposed to be a public park. Frustrated that he wasn't able to get any nearer to the mountain, Andrew informs his followers that he plans to return to Whistler's Peak. This is what he captures.
Alright, I woke up actually early today. Actually, we're gonna go on an adventure. It's currently 5:30 in the morning. I'm gonna see if he's there early in the morning and see if I can get up a little bit. Look at all these mountains I got. They are everywhere around here too. But that's the one. Alright, let's go. What the is that? So they're extracting something out of here. There's 2 helicopters. What the The guy's here again. Yeah, this is him. What's going on?
Road's closed. Turn around.
Really?
Yeah, man. Just turn around, please.
Oh, okay. Have a good night. Oh, that was up. There he is. I'm driving past him again. Just turned around. I don't understand why it's closed off though. It's a public park or public road or whatever.
After this unnerving incident, Andrew goes radio silent for several days. That is until he comes back posting a video with the sinister title of, quote, "Being Stalked."
That's his same vehicle. Hey!
Terrified at what had just occurred outside his residence, Andrew notes that the black car that sped off seemed to be identical to the one that had stopped him both times before near Whistler's Peak, which meant that whoever was stalking him now had followed him all the way back from Alberta, and most frightening of all, now knew where he lived. Andrew's followers informed him that he was potentially playing a very dangerous game with what seemed to be government agents, dismayed at his snooping around near the mountain. After this, Andrew goes completely dark on all his social media for nearly a month. The fan base he had built up was growing increasingly worried. But quite unexpectedly, Andrew posts the following.
Hey guys, I just want to give you an update. I'm not dead. I have not disappeared. I have just been busy with life. I couldn't get around to posting and updating you guys, so now I'm going to give you an official update of what's been going on. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all the videos that I posted were scripted. They're just fake. They were just strictly for entertainment. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I just needed to give you a quick update.
So what were we to make of this? Out of nowhere, Andrew just comes out and tells everyone that his entire ordeal was a series of fake and scripted videos he produced for more views. However, many were quick to point out a number of off-putting anomalies in the update video. Firstly, it seemed as if the phone was on a tripod rather than in Andrew's hands, something that Andrew was not readily known to do. The young man's eyes seemed to wander off camera at various points as if he were taking direction from someone. And lastly, the aspect ratio of the video was different than all of Andrew's other videos, which seemed to indicate that he was using a different phone. All of these were instant red flags for Andrew's followers, who were now convinced that something was up. Was Andrew being forced to make this video by some shady government agency intent on shutting him up? Well, 10 days after posting this update, everyone would seemingly get an answer. Andrew uploads a video with a disturbing caption that reads as such: "Too much has happened, and I can't be forced to be silent."
You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
Just one day after his shocking confessional, Andrew would upload again, this time once again returning to the base of Whistler's Peak. Andrew is dumbfounded to see that some kind of military installation has now been built on the exact same spot where he witnessed the supposed giant humanoid earlier. Andrew flees the mountain and laments to his followers that his paranoia and anxiety have now consumed him. Tony Merkel, host of the popular Confessionals podcast, formally reached out to Andrew for an interview, but didn't receive a reply for over a month, which he thought seemed strange. Tony pressed about whether the videos were real or fake, to which Andrew emphatically responds that everything was indeed faked. But when Tony mentions the first confession, Andrew cryptically replies that he couldn't speak any further on the matter. He further says that he probably wasn't even safe speaking about it, and abruptly severs communication with Tony. In the following weeks, Andrew stays completely off TikTok, but does continue to post to his Facebook. Mostly mundane events dealing with friends or family, carrying on as if his ordeal with the mountain giant or the supposed government agents never even took place. He seemed content to put the entire scenario behind him. Despite this, his followers were relentless in trying to dig up more information, but no matter how hard they tried to get Andrew to talk about the situation again, he remained tight-lipped. On July 1st, 2022, this incredibly strange saga would culminate in a morbid, but some would say foreseeable way. Andrew Dawson would show up in a local obituary. It was abrupt, unceremonious, and very suspicious. It seemed that whatever Andrew knew, he would take his secrets to his grave. Or would he? Taking a closer look into the enigma of Andrew Dawson, we can start to see some glaring signs that Andrew's odyssey might not have been all that he was making it out to be. Starting out with the mountain itself, Andrew had reported that it was Whistler's Peak in Alberta, but thanks to YouTuber The Y-Files, it was later correctly identified as Canoe Mountain. According to Y-Files, the object that Andrew reported as a giant humanoid was nothing more than the top of a cell phone tower. The reason as to why the tower wasn't visible in Andrew's second video was because the angle at which he was recording was much further down the road than his original video, taking the tower completely out of view. The supposed UFO was actually filmed over a different mountain, and while still unidentified, it looks suspiciously like an airplane chemtrail. The supposed military installation Andrew filmed was later proven to be a structure built in 1964 named the Jasper Skytram. It was almost inconceivable that Andrew wouldn't know about the Skytram, as he is from the area and will most have certainly seen the tram in his day-to-day operations. It has also been pointed out that the alleged government agent that confronted Andrew on the public access road spoke more or less like a paid actor with little experience as to how an authoritative law enforcement officer is supposed to sound. And lastly, the official update video looked and sounded rather, well, rehearsed, let's say. Almost as if Andrew really wanted us to believe that he was being coerced against his will and tried way too hard to oversell it. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's it. Case closed, right? The whole thing was a fake. Well, not so fast. There is the final piece to the puzzle, namely the actual death of Andrew Dawson. And this is where it gets muddy. The obituary to which Andrew featured, the Campbell River Mirror, is a publication to which anyone can submit without having verification of the subject that they are actually submitting. However, Andrew's death has supposedly been confirmed by 2 reliable sources, and his Facebook page has been officially changed to a remembrance site. Now, according to another YouTuber that contributed to my research, namely billschannel, very little can actually be found on the man known as Andrew Dawson. No birth record, no death certificate, no residence listings, school attendance, pretty much nothing. Something to which I myself can actually attest. In fact, doing research for this video, the only thing in the way of records for Andrew Dawson that I could find is now his Remembering Facebook page. So what is the truth behind the odyssey of Andrew Dawson? Did he start out in trying to create an elaborate hoax, but along the way actually stumbled onto something very real and very sinister? Did it cost him his life in the end, or has Andrew continued to fool us all, playing into our fascinations about giant humanoids, government conspiracy, and mysterious deaths? Well, sadly, only Andrew knows the answer to that, and until the silence is broken on this case, we may never find out one way or another. But as we always say, question everything and trust no one. Click that like and subscribe, as you never want to miss what we have for you next. Till next time, my friends.